What's up guys, my name is Blake Moore, welcome to More Finance, and today I want to discuss how you can avoid deactivation as a multi-apper. So as you guys know, I was recently deactivated from both Uber Eats and Grubhub, and it's not looking too good for me. Just a little update on that whole thing. I've sent them like 2 emails. I'm not trying to bug them too much because really I don't care that much. I kind of enjoy just Doordashing, to be honest. Yeah, I make less money, but the stress level is way lower and I can focus more on YouTube and just different stuff like that. It's ended up working out pretty good, but I mean, it would be nice to get back on the platforms. So I did reach out to them twice. I don't know if there's much hope getting back on Uber Eats. Grubhub, I'm still waiting to hear from. For some reason, Grubhub takes forever to let you know anything. I don't know why their communication is so slow. It's like slower than Doordash's, which is surprising, to be honest. But before we get into the things you can do to avoid deactivation, make sure you guys hit that like button for me and also hit that subscribe button if you enjoy my content. And after you do that, we can get right into these tips that I have for you guys. So just a little background, I multi-apped for about 6 months, and that was with just Uber Eats and Doordash, and then Grubhub came on and I did that for about 2 months, I think it was. I can't remember the exact time frame, but I did it for quite a while, and I was making like, it was so easy to average over $30 an hour, honestly, especially on weekends. I would average $40 an hour on Saturday and Sunday. So it was really nice. But there were some things that I could have done to avoid deactivation. So I figured I would share those things with you guys so that you can learn from my mistakes and not make those same mistakes yourself, so you can keep making good money as a multi-apper. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is I always left all my apps running at the same time. Now I think you can still do this. I don't think it's a problem to leave all your apps running at the same time, because I figure why not just leave them open, and if you get a better order on a different platform, just unassign the worst order that you were already working on if you had accepted an order already. I just feel like having as many options as possible at all times really helps you make quite a bit of money. So I would still advise you guys to leave those apps running at all times. Don't unassign too many orders. Like, be pretty selective. Like if you accept an order and it's like $10 on Doordash, and then you get one for Uber Eats that's like $11 and like only half a mile less than the Doordash order, maybe just keep the Doordash order. Don't unassign too much unless you accept one and it's like $10 from Doordash and then you get a $25 order from Grubhub or something. Might want to unassign. So that's the first tip I have for you guys, is just to be careful what orders you unassign, but I still think it's okay for you to leave your apps running at all times. Now, I did just recently see a video from Doordash Dad that was saying Doordash is kind of trying to crack down on multi-apping. I think that is true, but I think you can get around it by just not pausing your dash and only pausing it in select situations. I think you could still decline a couple orders in a row, not have your dash paused, and then if you're noticing that you've declined like 5, 6, 7 orders in a row, maybe pause it for a couple minutes, go back in, and then see what happens, you know? But I think there are ways to get around what Doordash is trying to do. So I would still, if I was multi-apping, I would still run all 3 apps at the same time. Now the next thing is the absolute most important thing when it comes to being a multi-apper, and that is that you have to focus on the pickup times. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And unfortunately with Uber Eats, I don't know where the pickup time was on Uber Eats. If you guys know where it is, then good job, you figured it out, and I never could. But I would always leave Uber Eats till the last of my orders. I figured, oh well, it doesn't matter, they don't give me a pickup time, then whatever, I'm gonna pick it up after I pick up this Doordash order, or after I pick up the Grubhub order. Don't do that. When it comes to Uber Eats, pick it up within a reasonable time. I'm sure you have like a 2 to 5 minute leeway of time that you could maybe go pick up another order if it's a restaurant that's really close to that Uber Eats order, but don't go completely haywire and pick it up like 15 minutes after you receive the order. That's what I would do, and it was always ready when I would pick it up, which was really nice, but Uber Eats probably wasn't too happy about that. So just be aware of that, and luckily with Grubhub and Doordash, they do have pickup times. Make sure you are not over 5 minutes late to those pickup times, because otherwise you could be deactivated, honestly. And I think that's what happened with Grubhub, is I was waiting until the pickup time to arrive, or maybe even a couple minutes after. And then I would have to wait at the restaurant for another 15 minutes because they wouldn't start the order until I got there. And so that's a big problem I ran into. So just be careful when it comes to that. Really hone in on those pickup and drop off times and make sure you're not going literally not over 5 minutes, because you don't want to risk getting a contract violation with DoorDash or being deactivated off the other apps. So my next tip is to make sure you're not accepting more than 2 orders across different platforms. So what I mean by that is you can have 3 orders at a time if you get a stack order from DoorDash and then you get an Uber Eats order that's really close by, the drop-off locations are really close by, you can manage that. But what I mean by this is don't accept an order on all 3 platforms at once. It is very hard to complete this stack order that you just created for yourself within a reasonable amount of time. So that's what I would do. Sometimes I would have a stack order from DoorDash, so 2 orders from DoorDash, an order from Uber Eats, and an order from Grubhub, all in my car at once. Now they were all in hot bags and I would still deliver it in a reasonable amount of time, but I think this definitely contributed to my deactivation across Uber Eats and Grubhub, because I would always focus on DoorDash as my main priority because I knew the exact drop-off time and I knew that if I was 10 minutes or later, then I was going to get a contract violation. The other 2 apps I'm not as familiar with, and I didn't know how to bend the rules as easily as when it comes to DoorDash. So I think that's what led to the deactivation on those 2 platforms and not on DoorDash, because I've been doing DoorDash for 3 years longer than I have the other 2 apps. Now this next tip is actually a really important tip, and I think I could have avoided deactivation even with doing all of that other stuff that I was doing. I could have avoided deactivation by just doing this one simple thing, and that would be to offset your multi-apping with long single app shifts. I think it takes a while for their systems to kind of process what you've been doing. And so if you do a long single app shift, it will completely combat all the weird stuff that's going on while you're multi-apping. So that was my whole plan prior to my deactivation, is I would multi-app for like a couple days in a row, and then I would do a super long Uber Eats shift, like 10 hours of being a perfect Uber Eats employee, get my acceptance rate up a little bit, deliver every order on time, and get my customer rating up and all that stuff. So then it offsets while you're multi-apping. And I would do the same thing with Grubhub. I'd go out 12 hours or something and just accept Grubhub orders. And then same thing with DoorDash, so that you boost up your ratings a little bit. So then when you're multi-apping, if they go down, you're okay. And that's what I was doing for the first however long I was multi-apping. But then when I made my $1,000 in a weekend challenge and I worked 29 hours straight of multi-apping, and then I didn't even go into the Uber Eats or Grubhub apps, because right after I did that $1,000 in a weekend challenge, I immediately went into accepting every DoorDash order for a week straight challenge. And so I didn't even open those apps. And that's what really led to my deactivation. So you can offset it if you're smart about it. If you do like multi-app shift, normal shift, normal shift, normal shift, multi-app shift, multi-app shift, normal shift, normal shift, normal shift. Like that's how you could kind of structure your schedule so that you don't get deactivated. And I would highly suggest going long multi-apping shifts on the weekend, and then maybe Monday and Tuesday make up for it by doing a couple of long single apping shifts. So the next tip I have for you guys is don't get too greedy. It kind of goes along with the accepting no more than 2 orders across different platforms, because I would literally just accept everything I could that was within a reasonable amount of distance to each other. So like I would have like a DoorDash pickup here, an Uber Eats pickup here, and a Grubhub pickup over here, and then they were all kind of spread out deliveries over here, and that really just makes it probably not the best experience for the customer or for anyone involved, really. And so it's okay to be a little bit greedy, but just don't accept orders across different platforms that are over a mile away from each other. So make sure every order you're accepting across platforms is within a mile of each other, because I truly 100% believe that you can get the orders done if they're within a mile of each other. I did multi-apping for so long with this strategy, but I unfortunately got in my head and thought I was just too good, that I could get everything done that I needed to without having any late drop-offs. But unfortunately that didn't happen, and probably something that led to my deactivation. So there you guys have it. Hopefully these tips will allow you to multi-app, make good money, and not get deactivated like I was. Please learn from my mistakes and learn from my experience, because I really think you can do a lot of the things I was doing, but just remember to offset it with really long single apping shifts. That's the main tip. And also focus on pickup times. Those are, if you get anything out of this video, those are the two things that you need to focus on. And anyways, hopefully you got some great information. And if you did, make sure you guys hit that like button for me. And also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe. If you want to see even more content from me, go check out my other channel, More Finance Reacts. I react to all sorts of stuff over there. So if you want to see even more videos from me, go over there, subscribe, check out some of the videos, let me know what you think. And as you guys know, you're the best subscribers in the entire world. And I'll see you guys next time.